there are a couple of things that I want to bring up this morning. And as the people go in to the yard to do that extra time that's being offered nowadays, it came to mind, and I don't know why it did, but Spirit told me to talk to you, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I always believe that if someone has done their best for a person and that person's not satisfied, and they feel that the grass is greener on the other side, 99.9% of the time when they get over to that greener grass, so to speak, they realize that they're in the desert. And it's no time that they wind up coming back over to what you had to offer. And hop, skipping, and jumping with smiles and roses. You know, you have to be thankful for what you have and make good use of it while you have it. And I see people that are grown as all day long act like children because they weren't catered to. It could be a relationship, it could be a job, it could be school. Be childish about their role in the situation. Will turn around and leave the situation. And then when they realize how hard it is out there in the big bad world, they want to come back as if nothing happened. I'm trying to figure out where these folks come from. I really do. I want to know. Can somebody put in the comments where these folks come from? Are they earthlings? Are they from this planet? Because I'm thinking that they're not. Because it just flies in the face of human decency. It flies in the face of common sense. It really does. And it just takes a lot of nerve and a lot of balls. I'm going to give you a situation and I'm going to let you guys go. Okay? It'll be a short one this morning before I get started. Someone has a job. Okay? Number one, that's a blessing. Okay? Because there's some people out here have been struggling to try to get a job. And for those of you that are struggling, just hang on in there. Something's going to come through. Person gets a job. Get on the job. Don't halfway do what they're told to do. Disrespectful to management, owner, whoever's in charge. Just basically has this attitude they do what they want to do. Turn around, get verbal warning with written warning. And all they need is one more time to get out of there. This person decides the job isn't good enough for them anymore. So before they even just get fired and get that third strike, so to speak, they decide they're going to quit. Because all of a sudden the job's a problem. Been there a whole year. So it took you 5 days a week, 52 weeks. It took you over 260 days to decide in your mind that the job wasn't good for you anymore. Don't have anywhere to go to now. But you decide the job isn't good for you anymore. These people 9 times out of 10 have somebody to fall back on financially. So they feel they could just throw away a job. Okay? They're either living with a relative or living with a mate who takes care of most of the bills. Their feet are not being held to the fire financially to contribute to the household, obviously. And they took the job because whoever they're living with probably gave them a hard time about hanging around the house all the time. And that's the truth. So their work ethic not only sucks, it's almost non-existent. And so what happens is they decide in their mind, and I don't know where this random brilliant thought came from, that they're going to just either do a no-show or be late or be insubordinate and not come back anymore. Now, you guys have probably heard or seen this dozens of times if you've been in the workforce. Why is it always that same person 1 week, 2 weeks, a month, 6 months later, winds up coming back to the same job, hopping and skipping, roses in hands, chocolate and then the other, chit-chatting with everybody, super nice. That same person always come back to that same job that they walked off of and act like nothing happened with this bogus explanation about how they were emotionally stressed over some shit that didn't exist. It's always, oh, I was going through something because, this stressed me out and this was going on with the home and this was going on with the family and da 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 da. And that's why I was acting the way I act. No, 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 no. Let me tell you something. If you are an employer and you have somebody that you have running in and out of your company all the time, because you probably don't even realize that this is a pattern, don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. When you're going through something emotionally, okay, it can take a whole lot of time. I'm not diminishing that. But the thing is that when you already at the job and you're starting to go through it, you didn't say anything to anybody about what you were going through. And you didn't think about the fact that it was going to affect your job. You're okay. It was overwhelming. But the thing is if you choose to leave on a bad note from a job, you need to keep it going. You really do. You need to keep it going. Because you don't know what kind of records they have at their job. I mean, they probably have it written out letter by letter as to why you left. But I'm just trying to figure out how in the world are you going to turn around and leave on that note and try to come back? Now, in the past, there were a couple of times where I looked into going back previous jobs, but the reason why I wasn't there had nothing to do with behavior or anything like that. It was because they were suffering either a layoff or a loss of a contract, and I was let go. But the thing is, if I turn around and I get let go from a job, and it's because of my fault, how I look coming back later on trying to apply for the same job? So I guess these people figure, oh, well, the people in charge aren't there anymore, which may be the case. But the thing is, you still have records there. You still have something in your employee file indicating the reason why. Why would they turn around and bring you back? Employers, don't get to the point where you're just, I know about the labor shortage and what's going on and everything, but there are also employment agencies. And these employment agencies, whether it's temporary or permanent, it's their job to sift through the paperwork and do the screening and get you some people. If a situation comes up where you've got a huge production deadline, or you need some people to complete a project or something at the last minute, I know it's a few dollars extra, but really, truthfully, you and I both know at the end of the day, when you get paid for that project, it's going to surpass what you paid for these people. I would rather go that route if I'm facing a deadline or something than to turn around and hire somebody who was difficult. I would rather go to an agency and overpay them for a little while and get quality work done and get my work done on time without difficulty than to turn around and rehire a difficult person. And some of you employers are making that mistake. Well, I know them. Yeah, you know them to be difficult. You know them to hold up the process. You know them to be disrespectful to you. You have to think about your reputation as a business in the industry that you're in. If word gets around that you got this revolving door mentality when it comes to people quitting and coming back and quitting and coming back, the other people, your peers, are not going to take you seriously in the industry. A lot of people want to collaborate with people in the industry that are go-getters, that stand by their brand, that are serious about their work, and have a strong workforce. If I'm a person that runs, let's say, a soul food restaurant, and I know that you run a Chinese restaurant, but there's some kind of festival or something coming up or anything. First of all, I'm not in competition with you because you sell a different type of food. So competition's out of my mind. But let's say that there's a festival coming up or something like that. Or maybe there's a special international event that requires catering. Let's say that you get hired for the event and they're looking for someone who does Asian food. You can refer that person because you have that rapport. Because you know that they have not only good food, but they have quick service, their prices are reasonable, and their customer service is good. They interact with the customers well. You're not going to recommend somebody who is unstable, keeps crazy hours, don't have a good work staff. You're not going to recommend that because, see, if something goes wrong, the people that you recommended that company to is going to look at you and say, what kind of people are you associated with? So it's the same thing with dealing with employees. And believe me, I've been privy to it myself where employers are struggling to try to get things done because they don't have enough people to work. I get that. But, go to an agency, go somewhere else. Because there are people that are out here struggling to find jobs. And unfortunately, some of the jobs in their industry that they're looking to find, they can't really get anything at a decent salary of hours because some employers are still holding on to no good workers. Let them go. And make room for the people that have been out here for a month and 3 months and 6 months trying to find jobs that are full-time, that offer them what they need and are ready to work. Stop holding on to all that dead weight in your workforce because it's not doing any good. When they turn around and come back, you have to just politely tell them you're not eligible for rehire. That's it. It is your right as an employer to do that. And those of you who are brain damaged enough to do something like that, what you need to do is you need to go see somebody. Because it's obviously not just the fact that you're doing it. There's something going on in the brain that's just not processing things properly. You're not mature, first of all. And second of all, you need to understand what a work ethic is. You need to go to a job preparation or job training program to teach you good work habits, to teach you healthy job attitudes to have, and also to show you what hard work is supposed to entail, how you should behave at your job. They have groups and seminars that do these things for free in the community. You need to do that because people like this, more than likely, that's a pattern of theirs. Because you're going to wind up on the street. The person that you're depending on is going to get sick and tired of this pattern of you in and out all the time, and you're grown and have responsibilities, most of you. You really need to stop. And as far as the employers go, once a person is out, they need to be out, period. If they haven't given you a notice, if they've been a bug from jump, if they have done nothing but just bring down the whole situation, bring down the morale of the team, then they do not need to come back to you. And that's all that is to it. Go to the local employment agency or get a cousin of yours who doesn't have anything to do on the weekends or whatever, and get them to fill in that gap to help you get over that deadline you've got to meet, and that'll give you time during that time to interview some other people. But you don't need to reach back and get this person that was useless before, and don't assume that time heals all wounds, because that don't apply to everybody. It's too much of a risk to take. Okay? So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. Peace.